A reading from the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 51. The Lord makes war on Babylon. Thus says the Lord, against Babylon and the inhabitants of Leb-Kamai, I shall rouse a destructive wind. I shall send winnowers to Babylon, to winnow her and leave her land bare. For they will be against her on all sides on the day of disaster. Let no archer bend his bow. Let no man take a stand in his armor. No quarter for her young men. Utterly destroy her whole army. In the land of the Chaldeans the slaughtered will fall. In the streets of Babylon they will be run through by the sword. For Israel and Judah have not been forsaken by their God, the Lord Sabaoth, though their land was full of sin against the Holy One of Israel. Escape from Babylon. Save your lives, each one of you. Do not perish for her guilt, for now is the time of vengeance for the Lord, the recompense which is due to her. Babylon was a golden cup in the hand of the Lord. She made the whole world drunk. The nations drank her wine and were intoxicated. Babylon has suddenly fallen, is broken. Wail for her. Fetch balm for her wounds, perhaps she can be cured. We tried to cure Babylon, but she got no better. Leave her alone and let us each go to our own land, for her sentence reaches to the sky, rises to the very clouds. The Lord has made known our righteousness. Come, let us tell in Zion what the Lord our God has done. Sharpen the arrows, fill the quivers. The Lord has roused the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for he has a plan against Babylon to destroy it. This is the Lord's vengeance, vengeance for his temple. Against the walls of Babylon, raise the standard, strengthen the guard, post the sentries, take up concealed positions. For the Lord has both planned and done what he promised about the inhabitants of Babylon. Enthroned beside abundant waters, rich in treasures, your end is upon you, the measure of your pillaging. By his own self, the Lord Sabaoth has sworn, I shall fill you with men as though with grasshoppers, and over you they will raise the triumph shout. By his power he made the earth, by his wisdom set the world firm. By his discernment spread out the heavens. When he gives voice, there is a roaring of waters in heaven. He raises clouds from the furthest limits of the earth, makes the lightning flash for the downpour, and brings the wind from his storehouse. At this, everyone is stunned, at a loss. Every goldsmith is shamed for his idols. His images are delusions, no breath in them. They are futile, a laughable production. When their punishment is due, they will perish. Not like these is the heritage of Jacob, for he is the maker of everything, and Israel is the tribe of his heritage, his name is the Lord Sabaoth, the hammer of the Lord and the giant mountain. You are my mace, a weapon of war. With you I crush nations, strike kingdoms down. With you I crush horse and rider. With you I crush chariot and charioteer. With you I crush man and woman. With you I crush old man and young. With you I crush young man and girl. With you I crush shepherd and flock. With you I crush plowman and team. With you I crush governors and magistrates. And I shall repay Babylon and the inhabitants of Chaldea before your eyes for all the wrongs they have done to Zion, declares the Lord. I am setting myself against you, destructive mountain, declares the Lord, destroyer of the whole world. I shall reach out my hand for you and send you tumbling from the crags and make you a burnt-out mountain. No cornerstone will be taken from you again, and no foundation stone, for you will be a desert forever, declares the Lord. The imminent end of Babylon. Hoist a signal throughout the world, sound the trumpet among the nations, dedicate nations to make war on her, summon kingdoms against her, Ararat, Mini, Ashkenaz. Appoint a recruiting officer for her enemies, bring up the cavalry, bristling like locusts. Dedicate nations to make war on her, the kings of Media, her leaders, all her officials, and the whole territory under their rule. Then the earth trembled and writhed, for the Lord's plan against Babylon was being executed. To make the land of Babylon an unpopulated desert, the warriors of Babylon have done with fighting. They have stayed inside their fortresses. Their courage exhausted, they are now like women. Her houses are on fire, her gates are shattered. Courier succeeds courier, messenger to messenger, to tell the king of Babylon that his city has been taken from end to end. The fords occupied, the reed pools burnt down, and the fighting men seized with panic. For thus says the Lord Sabaoth, the God of Israel, daughter Babylon is like a trampled threshing floor. Yet a little while, and the time for her harvesting will come. The vengeance of the Lord. He devoured me, consumed me. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, left me like an empty dish. Like the dragon, he has swallowed me whole, filled his belly with my delicacies, and rinsed me clean. On Babylon be the wounds I suffered, the daughter Zion will say. On the inhabitants of Chaldea be my blood, will say Jerusalem. So thus says the Lord, look, I shall take your cause as mine, your vengeance as my own. I shall dry up her sea make her springs run dry. Babylon will be a heap of stones, the lair of jackals, a thing of horror and of scorn, with no one living in it. Like lions they roar together, they growl like lions' whelps. When they are hot, I shall prepare them a drink, and make them drink till they are tipsy, and fall into an everlasting sleep, never to wake again, declares the Lord. I will bring them down to the slaughterhouse like lambs, like rams and goats.